And we're live. Check, check, check. Say something.
Something.
Episode 13, Andrew.
Hey, look at that.
Andrew, the Uber driver.
Moving through the double dirgets.
Mm-hmm.
A long time since I had Dos Equis.
I thought you had one the other night.
Did I? No.
Oh, that's Corey that drank.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
You got salt and lime or what?
No, just drink it straight. Like,
I don't
Like
get
a
it
man.
dressed or
just drink it like a man, dude. Like, just a normal beer.
good night.
Oh, yeah? Pound that son of a bitch. I used to hate it when people would do that.
Oh yeah, especially just be sitting there.
You just got it?
And then if you didn't react fast enough, it's like Vesuvius all
you're
over you.
Yep. But, yeah, they're good, man. I like those
It's
seconds.
pretty standard for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Although these fuckers still give me a fucking ice cream cone headache. But
It is odd, man.
I don't know.
Do some research into that.
I just think I got allergic to alcohol, honestly. I think that's what it is. Because I tried different things too. Like I drank some wine, drank some wine coolers, even liquor, man. I'll get an ice cream cone headache.
Did you get a headache the other night when you tried that Crown Royal?
No, that was just a little
Just a
baby
little bit.
shot, you know. But like if I'm gonna drink some beer,
I was like, woohoo!
and I even
On
looked
the way
into-
home.
Were you? I'm drunk, and I even tried like, okay, let me chase it down with some water. All that did was make me want to piss and have an ice cream cone headache. Good. So
Cool.
you're texting me yesterday about a broken washer and dryer, huh?
Dryer, yeah. So, well, all right. Now, you buy a house, you get a home warranty
Yep.
most of the time, or you can negotiate one.
I have mine. My
Or
license
whatever.
covered on that.
And it's a lifesaver, right?
It can be, but there's certain stipulations to that. But go ahead.
Well, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, so my dad had one water leak in the house, and he got it fixed, and home warranty covered the repair. Or wait, yeah. Ah, crap, I'm getting them. Anyways, maybe it was. I don't remember the case. Anyways, so there was one water leak. Then he had another water leak, and he was it home warranty?
I think there's like some different type of like a slap warranty you get, right? Whenever you get some type of like fucking.
There was
water leak or
something,
some
but you
shit.
know what's crazy? Like you don't even have to. Well, I won't say that. In both instances that they've had water leaks in their house, they didn't have to disturb the slab at all. They have this because it's copper pipe that was in the slab. They've got this thing.
I've always wondered how they
It
do
looks like a handyman jack, and it clamps onto the pipe. They cut the pipe, and they clamp onto it, and then they sit there and they pump the, like a handyman jack, like you'd have on your Jeep or whatever.
that. Okay, yeah.
High lift jack,
Yeah.
whatever. And they just sit there and they pump the handle, and it just pulls. Like they cut it over here, they cut it here, and it pulls it out of the hole, and then they thread the pets through the hole and
Whoa.
connect it. It's pretty.
I
It was
did not
really,
know that.
It was really cool to watch.
Think about the dude that invented that shit. Like, hey,
Oh.
I got something to show you, motherfuckers.
Dude,
Check this out,
saving
right?
a bunch of work.
Yeah,
Having
'cause they're not gonna have to destroy that foundation, go through the slab, do anything. Genius.
Anyways, I don't remember the circumstances, but because my dad didn't immediately call the home warranty and start going that way, because they got to find a plumber in your area in Ballinger. It's a small town.
Yeah.
But because he didn't call them first, he called the plumber because water is leaking in the house. He ended up having to pay. They only paid for half of the repairs.
Since he didn't make the
Yeah, so he got mad and he's like, to help them, and he's going to cancel and everything. I was like, whoa, hold on. I was like, look, you didn't follow, whether you knew or not, you didn't follow their rules or their protocol. I was like, but
I think he would have done what every normal person would have done when you got water going into
Sure,
your freaking
sure.
house, man. Fucking, you just immediately think, call the plumber, right?
but let's not get hasty because this home warranty could help you out.
Yeah.
So he had called him about the dryer because I was like, well, let me see if I can. So there is quite a bit of resources on the internet for do it
Appliances.
yourself
Oh, yeah.
appliance repair, which is kind of cool. And I mean, either it didn't help me very much, or I'm dumb when it comes to that. I don't know. But so the first thing, like, because the dryer stopped like mid-cycle,
Yeah.
and then it wouldn't run again, and so there's like a little thermal fuse, and so I ordered one off of Amazon, and it came in, and slapped it on. The dryer started up, and everything was working good until my mom went to do laundry. Then it wouldn't work. And so that's when so he goes, well, do you want me to? I was like, well, I mean, go through the home warranty or whatever. Like, I'm into this whole dryer repair, $120, and the dryer is working a week later, but it's working now. Yeah, I went through. And what sucks is, of parts that I needed, the closest parts store didn't have, so I had to travel twice back and forth to Abilene to get it, which is no big deal. But and then it was like yesterday afternoon when I couldn't, like, it wouldn't work. Like, it was a mad dash to figure something out because we're going into a holiday weekend and stores are closing.
Yeah.
So it was like super. I don't know if the money savings was worth the stress, but at the end of the day, the dryer works. And my mom, but you don't really realize how much until you have something like. I wouldn't say that's like catastrophic, but like your air conditioner going out in the middle of summer,
That fucking sucked.
that's a little more catastrophic. But those like drying your clothes, okay, well,
You know what though? When
you get so used to that.
dude, when we lived in the Philippines, man, we didn't have a dryer. We had a washing machine. We dried all our clothes out on
Clothesline.
clothesline. Man. I say we, my aunts and uncles or cousins, whoever stayed over, would do that for us. So I lived like a little prince in the Philippines with my sisters. But yeah, I mean that, and then you know what? Those houses too in the Philippines, we didn't have air conditioning, man.
That's what you were saying.
But it was weird the way they made the houses. It's like they're almost made out of cinder block, and at the very top, you had holes through the cinder block, but then they put almost like a chicken wire through there. But you get a good breeze through your house. Of course, we have little fans and stuff. But dude, the house was never really
It
hot,
wasn't
man.
uncomfortable.
No, it wasn't uncomfortable. It was humid there in the Philippines outside, but if you went into the house, like, what was it?
What are the temperature? Is it like Guam?
Yes, it's very, very much like Guam. When I went to Guam, dude, it was just like, wow, this is like the Philippines.
They rain a lot too.
Yep. It's the same climate.
Hmm.
Same type of climate.
That place made me hate the rain.
Guam?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Diego Garcia made me hate the
I
rain.
heard that
dude.
was Skip and P were out there,
Mhm.
and it was like Landers on a Friday night.
Are you talking about Guam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was only like a handful of people. If we had something going on the weekend or I don't remember what
Yeah.
the case was, but there was only a handful of us. And I think it was 108 came down, and I just remember being there, like I was the marshaller, and I'm just standing there waiting for the jet to taxi in, and it's at night, and I just remember looking down, and I see rain, like water, like well above
Your
the
boot.
top of my boot,
Yep.
just running over my boot, and I'm just standing there like, what the hell, dude? This sucks. Soaked. And then like you could see it. It was weird. Like you could see those like daily storms would come
Yeah,
through.
you'd see
And
them
you could
coming
see
in.
them. Here they come. And you could rain. And I think you could be standing there, and I could be standing here, and I get rained on, and you're
Yes.
like dry.
Yep.
So weird.
There's
And
rain clouds.
I
man.
couldn't decide whether to put the rain gear on, hurry and put the rain gear on, because you remember it was that stuff that did not breathe. It was like wearing
Yeah,
a trash
dude.
bag,
Yep.
a thick trash bag.
Yep.
So you're like miserable hot, and you take it off, and you're soaked anyways from sweating, or just stand there and get soaked.
That's what I did. I just said it, just get wet, and then make sure those spare boots are dried out for the next day. Yeah, that was Fairford was like that.
Really?
I don't know what it was, man. Like launch and recovery, just raining its ass off. And then once the jet got in the air, it was
Oh,
cleared up, and the sun came out.
it's
And it
the
wasn't.
bomber gods.
Yeah, and it wasn't all depressing and gloomy like Gotham City. I just noticed that when we were in England, man. It was just like, I'm depressed.
What time of the year did you go?
I think we went the springtime.
Mhm.
Dude, this was in '98, man. So it's a while back.
I went in 05, and I went in August,
It's hot.
and so
Nasty.
no, it was
Nice?
nice, but there was a couple days there where it was like cold, like 40s. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell, dude?
Weird, man.
Because but you come from Texas and it's a million
But can you see
degrees.
how like I can see a person getting depressed living there?
That's a
dude.
real thing.
Yeah.
Like people in the Pacific Northwest get that way. There's I can't remember what they call it.
Dude.
Yeah, it's like it's a depression that because they have I think it's in the wintertime where the sun never shines. And
Yeah.
It's always dark and gloomy and it rains.
Mm.
I was noticing that today. It's kind of corny, but we're coming back from San Angelo tonight, and I was like, everything was green. The cotton fields are green, blue sky, white fluffy clouds. I was like, that's a pretty nice day out.
Yeah.
But I could imagine if it was just cloudy all the time.
Yeah, it'd be depressing. It'd be depressing for sure.
That's why I like Texas, and I'll probably never leave.
I love it. I love it. Great state. So, dude, remember I was telling you Jaden was battling some more kidney stones.
How's it doing?
He's doing better now. I think either they broke up and he passed him because he's not peeing Kool-Aid anymore. Like when he came back to the doctor, came in with that cup and it was just red, dude. I was like, oh, poor guy.
Dude,
I was like, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm good, man. Okay. And as I'm sitting there, I was like, were you supposed to leave that in the bathroom or like where they could get? He's like, I don't know. So this kid's like, Dayton's 12, but sometimes he acts like he's 27. Dude. He's like, I'll be right back. He opens the door, he goes out, and you hear him talking to the nurses, and he's like, I have a sample of my urine in the waiting room, room 11. And he's going, dude, was I supposed to leave it in there, or is the nurse going to come pick it up? And then they talk to him, and I hear him say, I'm like, don't come and get it, sweetie. He comes back in, he's like, I took care of it. Really cool, man. And then when the doctor came in, too, she talks to Jaden, dude. I didn't say a thing, man. And this guy even remembers what type of kidney stone he had, like when he was 7. And he's telling me. He's just telling me. I was like, man, this is good. But before that, dude, he made me feel kind of, I don't know why, but like he was sitting up on the table waiting, and I'm sitting in a chair, and I guess I fell asleep, dude, because work mids, and then I just took him to the hospital that morning. And I fell asleep, and I wake up, and then I see him still there, and he looks at me, and goes, "I'm sorry, Dad." I was like, "Why are you saying sorry, man?" He's like, "I know you're tired." And I was like, "Dude, don't apologize to me."
oh man.
Yeah, I was like, I told him, I was like, dude, I actually told him tonight, and I'm like, because it made me think about that. I was like, dude, you don't tell me you're sorry because you got sick. I should be apologizing to you because I was a piece of shit and I fell asleep in that chair. He's like, well, we were just waiting, and that's what I told him, right? I was like, well, I'm sorry. He's like, no, you gotta say sorry. I was like, okay, we're good. And he just, went back to his room, do his thing. But yeah, man, I felt bad. Like, I was tired, man.
Dude, I know. It's funny because my dad, he can't do everything he used to be able to do, so like that burden falls on me now, and which is a burden I gladly accept, and he's constantly apologizing. I got to reassure him. I'm like, hey, no,
Yep.
no, you just relax. Let me do stuff. So he was like apologizing about the dryer. I was like, you can't control stuff like
Nope.
that, just life.
I did a little experiment with my dryer when we got a different one now. When it broke, I was just like, I went and I looked how much the heating element was for that dryer, and I think it was like $40-something bucks. But at the time, home warranty would come out for $50, and I was like, screw it, let me try it just to see. And also, I didn't have to get in there. Fix it. Got in there and he just changed out the heating element. I knew it was bad. I could have changed it out myself, but I just went ahead and tried it. Worked.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned that you can't skimp on buying a multimeter. Don't buy a cheap one.
Yeah, you got to get good
Don't buy a
testing
cheap
equipment,
one.
man.
I mean, not that. I mean, it did what I needed it to,
Mhm.
but it was more confusing, and I don't know anything about electricity, which is ironic because that's the highest that I scored on my ASVAB.
I scored high on E&E too as well. That was your highest?
Well, yeah, it was like in the 70s.
Jeez. I think I scored like a 92 and an 80 something on mechanical and electrical.
No, my mechanical was low. It was like 50 something.
Really?
Yeah.
My general and admin was horrible, dude. Like a 30, and like for general, it's like a 50. That was bad.
I went admin, electric, general, mechanical. And they're like, hey, why don't you go be a crew chief, right?
Yeah.
I won't say I would have been screwed if I'd gotten an electronics or a
No, I think you would have
electrician.
done fine.
But because I would have learned it,
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think you get lucky. It's a test, You
Mhm.
you just answer shit. You get lucky sometimes. I don't know. But I learned a lot dicking with it. But I mean,
It's amazing what you can find on the internet, right? Sometimes you put that exact problem that you're having, someone's had it already, and then they did it for you.
dude, it's crazy. One website, I don't remember. It was called like appliance parts. I don't know.
Mhm.
Anyways, one website that I clicked on, it was like you're having this problem with your dryer, and then it broke down like 5 different parts. You could buy them order them right there from them, and then it gave you the percentage of times that part fixed that problem.
Neat. Had stats.
And they lied.
Fucking liars.
Well, it just so happened that the part that because the element was that thermal fuse was bad.
Yeah.
And then the element went bad after that. And when the element went, it took out this thermistor. Pain ass. Dudes at appliance, it was an Abilene appliance company over on South 20th and Abilene.
You hit them up too.
Top notch dudes. That's where I bought the parts from.
Okay.
And so this morning, because I was so frustrated last night when I was texting you, I just took everything out. I took everything that had to do with that system. I took every part out, and I took it with me this morning. And the guy sat there and he owned each one out. And he goes, "Oh, this one's good. This one's good. Oh, that one's bad. This one's good. All right, let me get you this one."
That was your problem.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
awesome that they did that.
Fixed. Yeah, they were real cool about
Doesn't
it.
matter with your meter at the house. It's just shit. It's
No, it's a good meter. It's
Yeah.
just it's like buying. You get what you pay for. Let's just put it that way. A $200 meter or a $25 meter.
Yeah.
You know.
You're rolling the dice. Gambling.
I mean, it's basic stuff. It works, But
Yeah.
Of course, I don't want to spend it for a lot either. So I'm like, I made it was a couple duties ago that I worked. I made Scott Garner go check me out. We were doing a HBO.
Mhm.
And I made Scott Garner go check me out a fluke meter so I could ohm out the chip detectors on the ADGs.
Wow.
Yeah, so he brings it to me, right? And I'm all, and then I pack it back up and I take it to him. Literally, he brought it to me and he was getting ready to go back out to the line.
Done.
And he hadn't went out there yet, and I handed it back to him. He's like, "Fucking for real?"
Hey, job is done
I was
right.
like, "Hey, yep, it's done. They're good. I don't know what I'm checking, but they're good."
I looked like I knew what the fuck I was doing, but fooled you.
Like, why isn't this working? Because you don't have it turned on.
It's not on. I remember the first time I messed with the one, dude. I was just a little like, whoa, what am I doing? I think it's for the battery, And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, dude.
Yeah, checking resistance is pretty easy, but like the one, like
Yeah, but if you've never messed with that before, it's a little intimidating, man. Like anything, I guess.
well, I got myself confused and I was kind of retarded, but I was like, well, because I read in this, I found an actual like technician manual for this dryer, and so I'm reading through, and it's like telling you like this should own this should own this you get this many ohms at this temperature, and I'm like, oh well, maybe it's like, because when you check for resistance, you just isolate it, and then you put one probe here, one probe there, and it takes a little bit of the power from the meter and just completes the circuit.
Yep.
And if that is open, then the power won't go through, right? And I'm like, well, maybe it's reverse. Maybe it's open until it gets power. And I'm like, but it's a resistor, not a relay. And then I just
goes through your mind,
yeah.
dude.
And finally, I just got myself just confused, and I was like, I'll just.
You think in the back of your mind, your brain was probably like, "Andy, what the hell are you doing, dude?"
I was saying that.
What do you think you're doing, dude?
I mean, like the third time of changing something, and I'm like, yeah, I think this has got it, guys. And I turn it on.
What do you
It's
think you're doing, man?
so last night my mom's like, so can I wash some clothes and dry them? I was like, it's blowing cold air. I mean, sure, you can put them in there. It might take a couple days.
Yeah. Should have told her, get them out on the clothesline. They'll dry faster.
Last weekend, I just air dried my clothes. I just laid them out all over my room, and then like I pick them up and they're all stiff.
Stiff. Sometimes I forget. Do you ever do this where like you'll wash a load of laundry and then you forget about them and you're like, oh well, shit, I have to throw those in the dryer. You dry them, but then like when you wear them, like the minute you start to sweat in it, it's all surprise,
Yeah.
dumbass, you forgot to dry it sooner.
It's all like sour
Yeah,
smell.
Fuck, man. Me and Kim call that surprise shirts. Wow, I remember one time I was at work. I was like, damn it, I got a surprise shirt on. Yeah, I've done that a few
Dude,
times.
that's why I
You
use
just gotta
those,
wash it again. You gotta wash it again. And
I
then
use
dry
those
it.
like little Downy like freshener pill things.
Yeah,
You know what
have
I'm
you ever
talking
eaten them?
about? No,
They're awesome, dude.
the pods are great.
Yeah, are they?
I like to have a good
I will.
Tide Pod salad.
I'll get Tide Pods and I'll wash them down with Dos Equis. Delicious, dude.
People do that. I don't buy that. I
I don't know, man. At first, I thought it was a joke when they were talking about people using the tampons and them shoving them up their ass. I
to
thought
get
that was-
drunk. Yeah.
But apparently, that was a thing.
So
You're gonna do that now here in college?
I'm gonna do it to the chicks.
yeah,
Hey, I got an idea. Your mom and dad won't even know you're drunk.
I learned this little trick off the interwebs.
Just kidding. That's assault, brother.
Yep.
So like their dryer, where the laundry room is, the dryer duct goes down through the foundation, right?
To let a
And
snake
all
in the,
the way
house.
out. Possibly.
Yeah. Did you ever see that video of that lady? She had freaking rattlesnakes in her dryer because the exhaust just went up to
Oh, dude, don't tell me
an
this
exterior,
shit, dude.
just an exterior wall, just straight, and then fucking snakes were just like, hey, let me cruise into that thing. They were in the dryer.
Don't tell me that.
Oh my god, dude! Does your dryer go to an exterior wall? Is that or it goes like down to the ground?
Like to the ground, and there's nothing
Hey,
over
I'm,
the
hey,
open.
I'm just as terrified of snakes as you. I'm just trying to tell you, be aware. What if you were back there working? And you
Boom,
just-
boom.
yeah, just
Dude.
got tagged, dude. Like, what the I just got tagged, dude. Oh, 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 jeez. Dude, you're over there trying to work on that dryer, dude. You get all flesh all getting eaten up. Because that's what's happening.
Almost done.
Because they say the venom just eats,
You
eats
can.
your
It is
flesh.
necrotic.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Yeah, they showed. I think it was a YouTube video I saw. This guy was just pulling snake after snake out of the dryer. Of course, he had it out against the wall, through the wall, and it was just one snake. And these were rattlesnakes, dude. I was like, oh,
Dude, I gotta figure something out.
I would burn that house.
I wonder if I just put like a little bit of chicken water over it,
You could.
and then just take it off and clean it out regularly. I got to get I'm gonna order it. In fact, it's like a brush.
I have one if you want to borrow it. To snake out,
Yeah.
I got one. Yeah.
I
Easy.
was gonna buy this one that hooks to a drill, and then you
I
just,
got the same thing, dude. It's good to do that to your once in a
how
while.
long is it?
Dude, because I've snaked from the roof because mine vents out. So I got up on the roof and snaked all the way down. But the best thing to do is go from the interior of your house and snake. I went up on the roof, dude, and I was like, I can't believe my house didn't catch on fire. There's
Because
so
like,
much lint that's trapped in there, dude. You can make a quilt.
because I took I got these two big ass pieces of PVC pipe, and I just run them in there
Yeah.
and like try to catch the edge of the PVC to like scrape it off.
Yeah.
And then I get my shop vac and I turn it to where it blows, and I shove it down there
Yeah,
and,
that's
and
what
then
you do,
blow
too.
it all out.
Yeah, this thing, you just
And
stick
it
it on your
works.
drill and then just rotor root that thing, dude. And there's so much lint that comes out of there. It's crazy. I think you should do it at least once a year. Man. Yeah.
They said that's what will cause the elements to go out.
Because it's not cooling enough,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm
It's
getting enough airflow.
burning itself out.
Yeah, I learned a
Burning
lot over the last couple of days. I ain't doing shit tomorrow or Monday though. Dude.
Hey, it's Labor Day weekend, son. So that means no labor, right? When did that become like a holiday
I don't know.
thing? Google that.
I was
Son.
gonna look that up earlier.
Labor Day.
So this chick Leah Ditton, I'm listening to on Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Mhm.
She's a professional rower. She's like a captain. She drives all different kinds of boats, right?
Yeah.
But her project, she calls them her project. She's a British chick.
Hello.
She trying to set records. Like she said, she's going to sail from I think a row from Japan to San Francisco. That's what
What?
she's training for right now. She did the Atlantic with a partner.
But she's gonna do this one solo.
She's gonna do this one solo by herself.
Crap.
And I
Oh,
think
well,
this
I'm
shit's
sure-
gonna take like 4 or 5 months.
She's
6
gonna.
months
She'll
maybe.
probably have a crew beside her, but she's gonna do the rowing,
No. It's all 100% by herself.
like a Les Strauss type of deal. Where
Yes,
she's gonna be out
yeah.
there by herself.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like Amelia Earhart, but in a boat.
When some people do stuff like that, dude, you gotta think like, is that smart? Is that smart to do, dude?
It honors the American labor movement and the contributions that workers have made to the strength, prosperity, laws, and well-being of the country.
So everybody gets to have a day off. Some people. Or is there some people that work on Labor Day? I think there is.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, police, fire,
Yeah.
hospitals, definitely. Probably a lot of stores because they have big sales and stuff like that. But yeah, looks like it was started in like 1887. Like, not necessarily the official Labor
Yeah.
Day, but it was so,
In the late 1800s.
and it's the unofficial ending of summer.
They say that, but there's like, there's like 3 or 4 more weeks of summer left.
Yeah, I think it's like what's the ending? There's a like summer solstice and
Yeah.
um,
Dude, I went to go get Steak Express the other night. I was talking to, I think his name's Eric. But can you believe the fair is going to be here next week?
already.
Already, right, dude? Already. So you know what that means, right? The fair's in town. We're going to get some rain, son.
Oh yeah, it rains every.
Every year whenever the fair's in town, man. But yeah, already, dude. Well, hey, when you were going around shopping, did you ever happen to notice that there's Halloween shit out already?
Yes.
Weird, man. It's freaking weird. The year goes by so fast, man. Whenever you're just jobbing or busy, or whenever you stop to think about it, you're like, oh, really? It's already September?
I'm trying to see. Right. When the Ace other day, dude, they got a screaming deal on the
You got
wall.
an Ace here in town?
No, in Ballinger. They got a 20-volt max drill
Mhm.
and 1/4-inch impact set
What brand?
wall. And it comes with 2 batteries, a charger, 15-piece accessory set. And if you buy it while the sale's going on, you get a free 20-volt max work light and a USB
Dang.
charger for $189.
Come with a radio? Sucks, then. That's actually good, man. $130, all that stuff.
$180.
180? Oh, 180? Yeah, it's still good, man. You get all the
Thinking about-
gadgetry and attachments.
Think about buying it.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but it's
Place the
still
drill
good.
that's in your box. Just take that one home.
That's what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah.
Because my dad's got an 18-volt DeWalt. I got an 18-volt DeWalt, and they're heavy. Those batteries are huge and bulky.
Yeah. But like I said, Andy, if John Wick were a mechanic, he'd be using the shit out of some Ryobi's. Just saying. That's what I got.
I don't know, dude. You think so?
I don't know. There's a couple times where my Ryobi's let me down, man. Sometimes those DeWalts have a little bit more torque to pull out some fasteners, man. Like I'd be up there working with like Juan or Ron because I think they're DeWalt guys, and like my drill just won't get it. And I swap to theirs, dude.
You know what I like about the Ryobi is the trigger on the impact.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's real. It's like you got control.
You have
You're
like some
not-
feel to
Yeah,
it.
you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
You don't have to be like balls out.
Yep. Yep.
You
You,
know.
have a little bit of control and some feel to it. I do notice that difference. Got that new phone, son. Motorola. They started it off, dude.
They did.
Motorola's. I went back to them. Well, I was looking at this phone for a little bit, man. That's why I got it. It's that Moto G6. I like it. Like I told you, I think the shittiest thing is the battery life isn't as good as my LG phone. But it's not bulky, dude. Look how small and thin this is. I got a case come for it too. It's thin.
Where's your
I like
pop
that.
socket?
When the case comes in, I'll throw it
Like
on
a
there.
12-year-old.
I like it, man, because you can hold on to it. Well, your case has a kickstand, right? Like a fucking old man. It's an old man's cell phone case, dude.
It's serves its purpose when
I do like it. It's nice.
I'm doing
Whoops your phone out though, don't it?
real good.
Well, you need it
Oh my
because
God.
you fucking drop everything.
When I got special time.
God, I just touched your phone.
No. That's what the kickstand is for. Dude, this case is only like a $15 or $20 case, but I got this one from Lou, or Lou's wife rather.
Uh-huh.
She got I guess she got the wrong phone case or whatever.
Deadpool case, huh?
I'm not a huge fan of the color.
It's actually the Flash.
Yeah.
Is it the Flash?
No, that's it's Zizo or Zizo, Z-I-Z-O, and that's like
Pretty cool, actually.
Yours?
You got a red one because of the Red Ball show, dude. Red Ball.
Secretly. did
I knew
that.
that. I knew that. We're gonna start selling those cases on our.
I'll take them into. I gotta go etch some tools. Etch a logo on it.
Etch a logo on it.
What have you been doing?
Actually, man, I ran today and then I just cooked some steaks. That's all I did today. That's it. Well, I went to the store too to get a few things, but
I loaded up at HEB, man. They had baby back ribs on sale.
nice.
They had T-bones for $4.77 a pound. So we had a bunch of those.
Oh, and I was out there barbecuing. It's like, am I doing this too soon, or is there like a certain day during the Labor Day weekend when you're actually supposed to go out and barbecue? Is there rules to
I think
this?
that's like Monday.
I
Like
don't
Monday.
I just did it. I'm like, I'm gonna barbecue.
That's why I'm cooking a bunch of stuff tomorrow.
I'm barbecue almost every other day though.
If my schedule would allow me, I would cook more during the week. I typically cook on Sunday. I cook a bunch of food
Yeah,
on
that's the
Sunday,
way to do it, man.
and then just eat all week.
All week.
HEB's insane, dude. Like I've shopped at HEB in San Angelo more than I ever shopped at HEB in Abilene when I lived in Abilene. But they just, I don't know what it is. Their new stores are nice, man. They got really good meat. I didn't show you last weekend what I cooked, dude.
No, what'd you get? What'd you cook?
I bought two. They were prime tomahawk ribeyes.
It sound like they would be thick.
Each steak was 2.5 pounds.
Damn, dude.
Oh, we had the meat for all week. Like me and my mom and dad shared. Like we cut it. Like what I did was I was gonna cook them on the Traeger, but I got started too late.
Yeah.
And so I just did them in the broiler,
Mm-hmm.
and they turned out great. Just salt and pepper, and I threw them in the broiler. And then about halfway through,
You use sea salt?
yes, I use sea salt, and then like I have the sea salt grinder.
Yep.
And the
That's the
peppercorn
best
grinder.
way, dude. Sometimes with the pepper though, I'll still use like your normal table pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, when I started eating steak that way, I was like, dude,
It's better.
it's the best.
And then about halfway through, I got this. What's the name? It's like some Irish name.
McCullough?
No, but it's a grass-fed butter. Can't remember the name of it. I don't know. Anyways,
When you melted it and just kind
I
of
take a pat of that and I put it on each steak as it finished up
Yeah.
in there, dude. So good. And it was prime, so it was already really tender meat.
yeah.
So I pulled it out and I just held the bone up. I was like that dude that does the salt thing.
Yeah, you're just
I had a fucking fillet knife and a steak, and I was like, and I cut it off the bone, and then I just filleted it into like slices.
Yeah.
And we ate it. And dude,
that sounds delicious.
I spent each steak was $33, dude.
Man.
But it was so good
Mhm.
and lean and tender,
We think about that too. You can
and we got like 4 or 5 meals off.
Yeah,
of it.
and like, what are you gonna spend whenever you go to a drive-in or a drive-through and go get some food?
Oh yeah,
It's gonna
and
add up quick as
and
shit.
it's shit.
And it's shit. And,
Yeah.
and then you're spending more of your money, believe it or not, on that fucking soda.
Oh yeah.
Robbery. Straight sugar, son.
I can't. The other day, I grabbed. Oh, I was taking my like last weekend I mowed because we got all that rain,
Yeah.
and then like I had fucking the Texas Amazon going on in my yard.
I had
And
Jurassic
so
Park in my yard
I
as well.
went out and mowed, and I got really bad allergies as it is.
Mhm.
And so I was dying, and I come in and I was like grabbed the Zyrtec and I grabbed a Benadryl, and I'm like looking around, and I just grabbed my mom's cup and it had Coke in it, and I was like, oh,
Because you don't drink
dude,
soda
I-
anymore.
it's been almost April,
Yeah, I stay away from the sodas.
so it's
too,
been
man.
5 months almost
Crazy?
that I haven't drank sodas, and it was holy crap, it was sweet.
Sweet. Yep. I've been a while from sodas too, man. I've been killing those Zevias. But yeah, I don't drink.
I just do
sodas.
the Topo Chico and then the HEB can flavored water,
Yep.
sparkling water.
You don't want
Yeah.
to get that inflammation going, son.
But I haven't really seen the progress of the diet as much as I think what it is like I'm like my mom will cook something, like she'll fry up pork chops,
Yeah.
whatever, and she'll put a batter on it, right? And I'm like, oh, this shit's so good. I won't eat any like potatoes or anything like that,
Yeah.
but like I think I'm still eating too much. But like we went to Low Wakey last night. I got the bacon cheeseburger. I just didn't get a bun.
You just asked for the.
And yeah,
Burger,
I
no
said
bread?
I just want a bacon cheeseburger with everything. Put the vegetables and everything on it. I just don't want a bun. And then they got a salad bar there, so I didn't do that.
You think when people work at those places, like we got another one of those weird.
Probably,
Bread.
and the cooks in there. Probably. Yeah. And my mom's like, we need a small order of onion rings, and we'll take some of those fried jalapenos.
Go,
And it's just
girl.
like sitting there in front of me. Fuck it, I'm gonna have some.
I don't restrict myself from that stuff. I still eat that, but like I just don't do as much of it. Look, I could easily sit there and just eat that.
I'm
but I
not.
just don't.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't like as much as people think that carnivore diet is kind of crazy. Like even I listen to that same podcast, that Rogan one with Michaela
Yeah.
Peterson. I don't know, man.
Just straight meat and nothing else. I don't think I can do
straight
that, man. I've got to have vegetables. I love vegetables. I love me some rice. Look at my eyes; they're slanted. I've got to have rice and vegetables, man, with steak. And
It would be
chicken and pork.
interesting to do just for 30 days.
Not even that long. Just do it for a week. Just to see 2 weeks. Give it 14 days. And just see what happens. Where you just strictly eat nothing but meat, dude.
I don't know. Because she said she takes like ground beef
Dude, I still like eating Reese's peanut butter cups.
and tallow.
What is tallow? Like, I was listening to
It's a
what is
fat.
that?
So I looked it up because I was curious. It's like a.
You didn't know what it was either? I was like, what the fuck is tallow?
It's
Is
like
it a flavored fat?
I don't know.
Because to me, when she said she just eats the meat, it didn't even sound like it was like seasoned at all.
A hard fatty substance made from rendered animal fat, used in making candles and soap.
She's
But
putting
it's-
wax all over her food.
It's just beef, it's like lard, but it's animal fat.
You got a picture of it? Oh, just looks like butter.
Like fat, yeah, butter. But the way she talks, like it's good. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I've got to have other stuff.
And like these dudes, these health freaks, like
Just
Like
stay away
Joe
from
Rogan.
sugars, man.
and Aubrey Marcus, they talk about like they make a coffee and they put butter and MCT oil in it rather than
Just
like,
drink.
like creamer or
Yeah.
whatever. I guess if you have to have like a creamer substance in your
I
coffee.
still use creamers too, man. I just use one, but I don't put sugar in my coffee anymore though. Like I really stay away from sugar. I try to, the best I can. Probably at the only time I really cheat is like when I make banana bread. Gotta have sugar in banana bread, dude. But I try
Dude,
to stay away from
someone
sugar.
on my Facebook page posted this recipe for a mayonnaise cake.
A-okay?
Yeah, so you take cocoa
Mhm.
and like flour and sugar and butter, and then you put mayonnaise in it, like mayonnaise out of the jar in this,
Egg whites,
and
okay.
you mix it up. And I guess it's supposed to, like, when you bake it, it doesn't have the flavor of mayonnaise, but it's really moist and like fluffy.
Yeah, it's egg whites, dude. That's
Is that
what
all
mayo.
mayonnaise
Yeah,
is?
it's all that mayo is all egg whites. It's just like when I was working at that the Oxford Street, the restaurant, they had me making salad dressings. I had no idea. Thousand Island. You know what Thousand Island is?
It's ketchup and relish, isn't it?
Ketchup, mayo, and relish.
And relish, yeah.
That's Thousand Island. I was like, I just made Thousand Island, son. Delicious. Yeah. I ruined Caesar salad for Kim. This is, dude, I think this is my junior year of high school. Like I was making those. I had to make the dressing for the Caesar salad. So there's a whole, there's a little book there and a list that tells you what to put in there. And I was all, anchovy paste. And Kim hates fish, dude. So I went and told her, I was like, you like those Caesar salads, huh? She's like, yeah. I was like, you like seafood? She's like, I don't like fish. I was like, there's anchovy paste in Caesar salad. She's like, great, why did you tell me that? To this day, dude, she doesn't
She
eat
won't
seafood.
touch
No.
it.
You
That's
know?
funny, man.
Yeah, I didn't know there was anchovy paste in there, man. It's the weird things you learn. When
It's
you're
like my mom won't eat spinach.
Spinach is delicious.
Well,
Depends how it's cooked.
Well, we grew it in our garden
Uh-huh.
when I was growing up. And my dad cut some for like, we had like Sundays was our big meal. Like everybody come over,
Steam
my
that
aunts,
shit.
uncles, my grandma,
Mhm.
and so she was cooking it, right? And we're sitting there eating, and she gets a big fork full, and she goes to put it in her mouth, and just happens to look down, and there's a worm on it, and she won't touch spinach
'Cause of that day, huh?
Just because of that.
That's funny.
Did you? What was your experience like working at a restaurant?
I didn't like it, man. That's some. I was left there tired, man. Like tired, dirty, and sweaty. Just being back in that kitchen sucks.
It's
dude.
miserable, and
it's shitty, dude.
dude,
I was
same
ecstatic
thing.
when they moved me to the salad bar.
I got a similar story.
Yeah.
Well, like I had a really good job, but I wanted some extra money.
Yeah.
Put wheels and tires on my Toyota. So I went to
Forget head unit, son.
JB's Family Restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hired on as a dishwasher.
That's how I
So
started.
I went in at a Saturday morning, and I worked Saturday and I worked Sunday. And washing dishes is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And
Did you ever get caught eating some of the food that would come in?
no,
It's just me.
take it home, maybe. I got some funny stories.
This guy didn't finish all of his roll.
So I was like, fuck it, I ain't doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So I went to the manager at the end of Sunday and I was like, I quit. She's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing, like, I don't need the money.
I'm Andy Carter. I am too good for this.
That's not it, but
Yeah.
I didn't need the money.
Yeah.
I just wanted the money. And I wasn't about to, think what you want. You
Yeah.
know, like, I'm sure I sound fucking conceited or whatever, but I was like, I'm done. She
Yeah.
was, no, like, they were just having a hard time getting and keeping people.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, what if we move you to the breakfast buffet? And I was like, I'll try it.
And I want a raise. You should have said that too.
So this dude that was like the cook, he come in, he cooked breakfast through lunch. And I did the breakfast buffet. So I got there early, right? And they had a prep cook that was doing all the prep stuff. And so I cooked like all the eggs, it was like the liquid egg or whatever.
Yeah.
And you cooked them runny because they were going to sit out under that thing and finish cooking.
Yeah.
Right? And then like the bacon was all microwave, it was already pre-cooked, And then on Sunday mornings, like Saturdays, you use like the bag hash browns, like the little squares.
Yeah.
They made potatoes and brine or whatever. Well, on Sundays, you actually used the leftover baked potatoes because Saturday nights they did prime rib. So you used the leftover. So I had to cut up all the baked potatoes, and those were cool, man.
Yeah.
I could get a little creative with those,
Yeah.
right? And that was cool. Well, we had to like, if you got a meal, you had to have a waitress ring it up,
Okay.
and they would charge you 50%. So you got it for half off.
Yeah.
And they just took it out of your check or whatever. Well, I never would do it. If I wanted something, I would just make it, and I would just eat it back there. Right? So one day, like, I see the manager checking like all these tickets because the cook is back there. I shouldn't even be fucking with the waffle iron. Really, I should just be in my little area.
Like, what the fuck is this?
And there's a
little bear doing
Belgian,
over here?
there's a Belgian waffle going, and I'm like putting the whipped cream, dude, and the strawberries and shit. And she's checking all the tickets. She goes, I don't see an order. She goes, you better pay for that. And I was like, it's not for me. And she goes, you better pay for it. And so I took a fork and I pulled it off the plate and right into the trash can.
Oh, Andy, you rebel.
And she just fucking walked up. This is horrible. I'd go in the walk-in freezer.
Yeah.
And they had cryovac T-bone steaks. And I'd grab, and there was like 2 to a package, but they were like perforated, so you tear them apart. I'd get 2 of them, and I'd throw them out in the snow, because there was a pile, because it was in the wintertime in the snow. And then I parked out back behind the restaurant, so when I would leave, I'd just grab them out of the snow. I'd drop my truck up, grab them out of the snow, just toss them in the bed of my truck and take off.
What if you went to do that one day and like you're going to go get that steak, right? And you're getting it in some bear paws, like, what do you think you're doing? Oh, there you go, Mr. Bear. You could have been bringing like some type of animals over there. That's funny, dude.
And then the cook, he was cool, man. He was actually kind of like training me or whatever. Yeah. And one day he was like getting slammed, and this waitress comes in and she's like, I got this customer and he's just being an ass, just you know how some people are just assholes. And
you guys go straight waiting on his food, dude?
Kind of. Well, not that bad.
Yeah.
But he ordered like the T-bone steak and eggs, right?
Yeah.
And this way, she kept coming in, and she was like almost in tears.
Being a jerk.
Like almost in tears. And the cook's like, "Don't worry, because I'm finishing up the steak," and like, because he had already asked like, "What's he having?" You know?
Yeah.
And she's like, "The steak." So he's like pulling the steak off of the grill and goes, "Oops!"
Steps on
Drops it on the floor, picks it up, flips it over, "Oops!" And then picks it up and plates it.
Wow.
Sends it out. And that's when I was like, it's true.
Yep.
I do not send food back. I don't complain at restaurants.
Because they're going to get you, dude. They'll get you, man. Yeah, because I saw similar stuff.
That it's not right. But,
it's not.
But like,
yeah,
it was a fun. Like after a while, it was fun. But yeah, same way, dude. I'd leave at like 1. I think I worked like
you
Saturday
leave like
Sunday.
Freaking like you talking about 1 in the afternoon?
Yeah, 1 in the afternoon. Because I come in early. I come in at 5 in the morning.
Oh, see, like well, you said you swapped. Well, I went like in the evening, and I wouldn't get home some nights until like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Dude, and I'm still in high school, man. I'm all tired. I smell like fucking shit. Not shit, but like it's just like because we would have hosed the whole kitchen down before the night's over.
Oh yeah.
You want to leave the kitchen clean, man. So
and then like the fucking grease on the floor.
Yeah,
it's like
a nightmare, dude.
Dude, it didn't matter how many times I washed my shirt, like my uniform shirt, it still smelled like that kitchen.
Yeah. It's some hard work back there, believe it or not.
Man. It is,
in the restaurant.
Man. It is.
That's crazy. So yeah, be nice to those people back there in that kitchen slaving, dude, because they don't want them to go oops with your steak.
That's why I was always like I know some people that wanted to start. Even my ex-wife wanted to take over a restaurant in Tuscola. And one time I was like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're glued to it, dude. That's your life. That is your life.
I told my kids when they start working, it's like, you can go get a job. But I told them, I was like,
I don't know. Places like
working back there.
Steak Express wouldn't be bad. Because you're not serving to the public.
That's true.
Places like that where it's just like takeout or delivery wouldn't be bad.
You ever look on the back, like we ever go to Chili's, like see them in the kitchen, dude. It looks like a freaking war zone back there, dude. I was like, I look because like, they placed this like where I can kind of see the kitchen. I look back there. I was like, ugh, I don't want to look, dude. And I'm not a big fan of Chili's.
There's a lot of people. I guarantee you, a lot of people would second guess themselves from eating out if they knew what a kitchen was like back there. And I'm not saying all restaurants are
No.
like that, but at the end of the day, like when you're busy and you're
Yep.
cooking, like fuck the trash can, I'll throw it on the floor, clean it up, I'll sweep
Yep.
it later, you know.
Yeah, the floor is
And then when it
disgusting.
slows down, then you start cleaning up everything, you know. It was fun, but I literally, dude, I saved up like $3,000.
Yeah.
Like I worked, saved up $3,000, and I went in through my 2 weeks in.
See ya.
I was like, I'll work 2 more weekends, and that's it. She's like, no, you can't. I was like, can't do this shit anymore.
You can't leave this, Andy. I think my favorite gig though before I joined the military was, man, I had a couple good ones, dude. Pizza gig on base was awesome, dude. Being a pizza for Cellar Pizza when they used to be on base, and then when I worked for Burnett Fire Safety
I was gonna
Services,
say that. I don't know,
dude,
that was a cool
that
thing.
job was awesome. I was like a sponsored golfer, dude. And then I took care of fire suppression systems as well too. But
Job I had before high school was cool. I just mowed lawns.
yeah,
And then I worked for the housing authority in my hometown. I think we had 8 different properties.
yeah,
That were like, we had one private apartment complex, a couple retirement homes, and then the rest were like low income HUD
Mhm.
living. But did that, and then in the wintertime, I got to plow snow on a 4-wheeler, which turned into playing on a 4-wheeler.
yeah. You're just out playing in the snow.
And then my senior year of high school, like I left school at 11, went straight to work.
Yeah,
I just wore my work clothes to school, and then I'd go to work, man. And I learned a lot in that job.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like I learned how to do carpet. I learned how to like paint
yeah,
the correct way.
Mhm.
Learned how to do drywall. Learned a little bit of plumbing.
yeah.
You know,
Did learn a little bit of electricity though.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So like people would move out, you
Mhm.
know, and you'd have to do what's called a make ready on. You know, you'd have to go in
Yeah,
and paint and fix shit that they
that was
messed
that
up.
they messed up.
Well, there was like these people like left. I guess they were getting evicted because they never paid their rent, and we had to go in and clean up the apartment. Like they just left,
Just up and
and the place was trashed, dude. And like they, the one bedroom was like the kids' bedroom because there was a bunch of toys and shit. And at first, when you see this, you're like, oh man, I feel bad for these kids, you know, like they just left, they didn't get their toys
Yeah.
and everything. And then so we're cleaning everything up, and I'm just like kind of like looking around, like what? I walk up to the wall, and I was like, oh, that's not texturing,
shit.
that's snot.
Oh, God.
But not like a kid like was like sick or was like sneezing and just sneezed and
There
formed
maybe
boogers.
spitting loogies on the wall,
Dude, this was majority of the wall,
What?
like from halfway down.
What's going on?
Like kids just picking their nose and wiping it on the wall.
Then you're like, I don't feel bad. for
And
this.
I'm like,
Fucking
yeah.
feel bad.
And I'm like, paint.
You just painted over the boogers,
Oh,
dude?
texture,
You
dude.
got- Yeah.
No, we cleaned it.
Texture.
But it's some nasty.
That's nasty, dude.
Use condoms on the floor. Like,
Did you go through the panty drawer, son? Oh.
So a different apartment. This one dude that I was working with was actually the boss, the main boss's son, and we had a maintenance supervisor. So he had the executive director, and me and his son worked together. We had a ball, dude.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was a lot like working where we were just constant like ribbing and joking,
Yeah,
just saying
just having a
stupid
good time,
stuff, you know. And he's going through a bunch of stuff, and he comes across a dildo. And the maintenance supervisor, dude, he's in the bathroom. He's fixing something in the bathroom, and he's like bent over, and he's like by the toilet, and he's like working, and he just Gaddafi's him with the dildo, dude.
Bam!
He's like, oh, what the fuck?
I would have like did one of those, like tapped him and like meditated in his face, dude. That
It was just so,
better, dude.
dude. It was.
Boom. You know where that's been?
I did that to Washburn with a banana one day in the office. He was just sitting there talking, and I just like grabbed the banana. I think it was Danielle's banana. I don't know. Grabbed the banana, and I just like kind of run it up like right here and touched his lip. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I was like, "Whoa, dude! Don't act like you don't like it."
Saw your lips pucker up, dude.
That was a good job.
The good gigs, dude. Back in the day.
I flipped a riding lawnmower
Remember you telling me
over
about that?
upside down. And the funny thing was we had a story, and we loaded it back up, and it was like the maintenance supervisor had loaned it to us to use because our other lawnmowers, we were kind of destructive.
Yeah.
We were hard on the ship. We're getting fixed. And so we fucked this one up. Like I was like, okay, cool. I can understand the brake and the steering wheel. Like we just ratcheted, strapped it down too tight. That's how that broke. But like there was so much oil, like it was just like. So my buddy, once we got flipped back over, he's like, "You need to weed eat. I'm gonna ride the mower." I was like, "Okay." So I'm weed eating, and I come around the building, and I just see like this cloud of smoke.
dude.
And I go around the corner, and I throw the weed eater down, and he's just sitting on it, just like going like this. There's so much smoke, right? And that's when we decided to load it up and just take it back to the shed and just put it in there.
Yeah.
So the next day, and we told Lon about it. And so the next day, he's got the mechanic up at the shed, and we're like walking by, and we hear the mechanic go, "Well, the only way that could happen, because you could tell they had ran it because there was still like a little bit of smoke coming out of the shed. It was the only way that could have happened is if it got turned upside down." And Lon was like, "Oh, there's no way. Those boys couldn't have done that." And we're just like, "Oh fuck!"
As you're walking by the
As we're
shed.
walking by the shed.
They didn't know you were out there evil Knieveling the lawnmowers, dude.
Dude, we did some stupid stuff.
It's funny, right? You get a little bit of responsibility and your immaturity comes out.
Oh, yeah,
It always
yeah.
does, man.
Always.
That's why I'm nervous, like for my kids, dude, because I know they're gonna do some dumb shit. You know, because I did it too. You know, get a little bit of responsibility, and that immaturity is
It was a good
still
job,
inside you, dude.
I probably would still be working there if I hadn't
Really?
been in the military. It was just a good job, dude.
What was it called?
It was called Evanston Housing
I don't
Authority.
think you would have been there very long, dude. The shenanigans you're pulling.
It was, they had like 3 guys, and all they did was apartments
Yeah.
and work orders.
Mhm.
So like during the week, they worked on
You ever stay in
apartments.
contact with those guys still?
I still talk to my boss every once in a
Really?
while on Facebook.
That's
yeah.
cool, man.
Actually, we got to become like really good friends. They were like family friends too.
Yeah.
But anyways, they had like 3 or 4 guys, and that's all they did. They just worked on apartments, and on Fridays they went around and did work orders.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's whatever, and then they had like I think it was every week a different dude had the on-call phone, and on the weekends or whatever.
Every week somebody had the QA phone.
Yeah, basically. And then they hired like kids like me,
Mhm.
like seasonal help. But then like me and the boss's son,
You stayed on.
we stayed on and we just worked. See, because the first year I actually interviewed through the city,
Mhm.
and I was working for the city of Evanston, but I was there. And then when that was just a seasonal job. And when school started, he kept me on, and I'd work from like 3:30 to 5:30 or whatever.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it was cool. Like when I got my ticket and I had to do community service.
Yeah.
I did community service through him. He was the one that owed.
And
'Cause
were
he
you
was-
still getting paid for the community? Paid?
I cannot comment. But he was friends with the judge,
Oh wow,
and
have the connection.
so I was like embarrassed, man, and so I had to go ask for the day off. I was like, "Hey, I need to have tomorrow off." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, I got this thing." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, what thing?" And I was like, "I got to go to court." And he's like, "What for?" And so I told him. He goes, "You seen Judge Levery?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm going to a Utah Jazz game with him tonight."
We're boys.
He goes, "Things will be okay." It was cool. It was a good job, man.
Sounds pretty cool, man.
They would. There was one gas station that we'd go to, and they had a charge account there. So if we needed like oil or gas or anything, we just charge it, right? And then they would pay for us to get a drink. So you go there and get like a 32-ounce drink or whatever, and they'd pay for it. You got 2 breaks a day, and they just pay for it.
Throw some beer in that fucker, dude.
Right. We had to go over to the Fort Bridger, which is like 30 miles away, and mow an area over there. They'd pay for us lunch and shit. It was a good gig, man. For a
high school kid, yeah.
I made like $10 an hour.
Dang, that
Which
is
was
actually good.
decent in
Back then,
like
yeah.
99, 2000. You know, it was.
Dude, speaking of high school, Kinley went to the game last night, right? Friday Night Lights. School's back in session. She calls me. I go and pick her up. It's about 10:30. I didn't get home till 11:30, dude. I live right over here. That's how crazy the parking lot is, dude. And dude, Wiley got smashed.
Really?
31-7. They're 5A
They're 5A
now.
now. They're
I
in
told
the
Kinley,
big leagues.
I was like, it's gonna take them a little bit to get adjusted because I think they played Georgetown. I think they were closer to Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, man. 10:30. Didn't get home till 11:30, and I told her, I said, you could have walked home faster than me picking you
Because
up.
isn't it like it's like Austin, Pflugerville, Georgetown, Round Rock, like all those?
Mhm.
Damn, that's crazy.
And they're gonna be playing. I don't know if I think they're gonna play Cooper this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think I gotta look at their schedule, man. But Wiley's got a tough couple years. I think. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise everybody and pull off some W's.
I'm not really regretting not living in Abilene.
You like living where you live, huh?
Well, you see the news lately?
No, I know. There's some crazy stuff going on, dude.
A dude and his son today shot a dude over off of Don Juan
What? That today?
in the alley. Yes, this morning, 10:30 this morning, over a trash dispute in the alley.
Holy crap!
The report said that he was shot with a handgun and a shotgun,
Wow.
and they hauled his ass to the hospital. And he died at the hospital, and both dad and son got brought up on murder charges.
They didn't have that Texas law, shield law, whatever the hell it is. Wow, man. Yeah.
It don't
Dude,
sound
that's-
like a self-defense thing.
No, man. It's like in this last month, there's been shootings, dude. I mean, dude, you know what? There's gonna be shootings everywhere, man. It's just odd because it's in this town and it's not something that happens.
Yeah, but there's been 3 murders in a week.
I know. It's crazy. Cray. Just be nice to people, dude. Courteous.
And carry a heater.
And have your heater.
And then there was
with
that dude running around yesterday trying to rape people.
you. Yeah. Yep.
In broad daylight. Don't even know you're supposed to do this stuff at night,
Or when there's fog.
late at night. And get a rape kit.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on with some people here in town, man. But you know what, though? It's still a good town.
It is. It's crazy.
But it's here lately, man. The crazies are coming out. It might be people from whenever Katrina hit. Those are the people that are doing all those things here. Just kidding, dude. They brought crime from
It's probably Syrian refugees.
Probably. You don't see any of those pictures anymore. Remember they showed the Syrian refugees and those guys were all jacked?
Yeah.
Freaking soldiers, dude. I was like, oh.
I think some of that was made up.
I think it was, dude, because I don't trust anything I see on the news, dude. Especially if it's from like CNN, dude.
Dude, I was for a little bit this morning, right when I got back from Abilene. My dad was watching John McCain's funeral.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. Like, President Bush talked, Obama talked. Listen to Obama's speech. Obama had a good speech. But President Obama?
Oh. Anyways.
What? He was a good president, dude.
I just didn't know who you're talking about.
But it was crazy because I guess he had, my dad said he had all this arranged before he died. Like, he knew he was dying.
Yeah.
And so he planned his funeral or whatever.
Crazy.
Like, called these people personally and asked them, like, would you please speak at my funeral?
Wow.
Johnny, will you please speak at my funeral?
What do you want me to say? Wow. That's weird, man.
Yeah.
That's weird. Did he do outfit changes like Aretha Franklin? Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, like I guess her viewing was like a long time viewing, like a couple days, maybe a week
Really?
long.
They changed their outfits.
Yeah, dude, by her request, kind of did like a McCain thing. Like these are the
Really?
things I want to happen at my funeral. Yeah, dude, she had outfit changes, dude. Like today, you
Weird.
can see Aretha in a pink dress. Wednesday, you're gonna. And I'm being serious. I was like, what? Yep.
Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? I think that's odd, man. I think
What, dressing a dead person?
no, but
That is weird.
I think I don't know. I think funerals are weird.
Yeah.
I personally really don't want one.
Mhm.
Like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like I used to, but my thoughts have kind of
I've
changed on
never
it.
really thought about a funeral, dude.
Well, I mean, like I think it's odd. What I think is odd is these iconic figures or whatever. They lay in state for days, and people get to come. Like do you remember when Mother Teresa died?
Yeah.
Like her body was
Yeah.
like wherever it was, and people were just like crying and like would come up there and like tons of people.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Dude, read about Abe Lincoln, how he went on tour after he died. That is crazy, dude. I learned it all from my son. He told me about it, and I just started reading about it. Yeah, Abe Lincoln went on a freaking like a world tour of the United States. Like
Really?
he went through the United States so everybody could see his dead body. It's crazy, man. So that's been happening for a while.
Yeah, I mean, but why? Like, why did they do that? Because they made such an impact.
Probably. Yeah, they made an impact, man.
But I don't have a connection to like John McCain or
Yeah.
I will say that Aretha Franklin was probably the better example.
That is weird.
I don't
right?
know. It's just weird to me.
It is
Like
weird.
some people get attached to celebrities.
Mhm.
It's weird to me.
Wonder how they did Elvis. Was there like a long viewing for Elvis when he
Mhm.
passed away? The king of rock and roll.
Dude, did you see that? Who was? I can't remember the dude's name. It was like one of the first people on Bruce Willis's roast, and Sybil Shepherd was on there,
Yeah.
and she's sitting over there, and he goes, because how they kind of roast everybody,
Yeah.
and he goes, Sybil Shepherd dated Elvis,
Mhm.
and Elvis went down on her, and he goes, "Is that true, Sybil?" And she's like,
Oh my gosh, dude.
"Weird,
Those roasts are brutal, dude.
brutal."
Brutal. But you know what? They know what they're getting into when they go
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Didn't Trump do one?
Trump did one. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Otis did one. Hey man, I think the guy's doing a superb job.
Yeah, as do I. I think it's because he's just kind of here's the difference between him and other people. He hasn't changed one bit of who he is.
He stayed true.
From Donald Trump as a businessman to Donald Trump as a president. He's not a different person.
Nope.
He's all about business. Let's get stuff done.
And that's the other thing too is you can't buy him, dude. Why are you gonna try and buy somebody that already has all the money that he
You
could
don't
ever
know.
want? You can't buy
That's
that.
why I wish people would like just step back and look at that.
Yeah.
The fact that he stepped up and ran for president because he's not going to be able to live the lifestyle that he lived prior to him becoming president.
Yo, no
His
president,
life,
after that.
yeah, his life is forever changed.
Yep. Because he's gonna always have Secret Service
Always.
for the rest of his life.
Always. I mean, his family's life changed. So it's a huge sacrifice that he's made that he didn't have to do.
Mhm.
He was living in a Trump Tower. It's all gold plated and luxury.
The life of luxury
Yeah,
already.
he was living it, and to be in all honesty, probably going to Air Force One is a downgrade from his airplane. I watched a documentary on his airplane; it's pretty impressive. Going to the White House is probably a downgrade from Trump Tower,
Mhm.
but he's doing all this. Doesn't need the money. He donates his paycheck to something different,
Yeah, he does.
and
Because he just wants to make America better. What is it? Great again?
Great again.
He does. I think he
MAGA.
does.
Hashtag MAGA. Hashtag MAGA.
I don't know. I enjoy what he's doing. I think he's doing good. I think the economy's actually doing a lot better too, man. You know, so we still have our contracts. We haven't lost our jobs yet working the aircraft
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
it is.
I think it's good. I think he'll get elected again.
Yeah, I think he will too, man. Hopefully,
I mean,
get out
just
there and vote
even
again.
I mean with North Korea,
Yeah, dude.
that's pretty impressive. He's done what every previous leader of the free world has not been able to do.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Dennis Rodman had anything to do with that. Like any bit of help in that, because he's been tight. Did you know that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I didn't know that.
There's one of the Rodman was on that too.
He was
On that roast.
on the roast of Bruce Willis.
Someone made a joke that was like Kim Jong-un loves basketball and thought you were Scottie Pippen. Like, that's why he's got such a good relationship with him. So next week's this week's the 7th. Coming up week's the 7th.
Yeah.
So I want to remind everybody, if you watch this podcast tonight or tomorrow or throughout the week, really would appreciate a good turnout, or at least just be watching for next week's episode. Episode 14 will be with Tim Smith.
Yep. A businessman and entrepreneur. Pick his brain about some of the interesting things he's done, and then some of the topics, some of the topics here in town as far as businesses.
He'll be our first non-veteran,
but
it doesn't matter. He's really, from what I've read and what I've heard about him, he's a real community-based person.
So that should be a good one, man.
It's going to be a really good podcast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, dude. It's going to be like like all our other guests. I love the fact that we've had those other guests, but this one, someone else.
Yeah, this is
He's got something. Something good to say.
It's a special. It's going to be a special episode for sure. I'm looking forward to it too. So please check us out next week for sure. It's going to be a real good podcast. I think he's done a lot of real estate development and has a vision for the downtown Abilene district, which it's interesting.
Just all around wants to make the local area better.
I've always said, man, downtown Abilene could be a super cool area to be if they would allow it. And that's I think what we're going to kind of talk about.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I want to go that route too, and I also just want to pick his brain about just starting that business.
Starting a business.
Like I know, there's people that get out of the military, man, and they're just afraid to take the jump, in whatever it is, where they can be their own boss. So this might hype some people up.
Yeah, it may be the missing thing that somebody has to get going on their own.
But yeah, so you want to wrap this one up, dude?
Sure.
All right. Cool.
Like, subscribe, share. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Check us out. Red Ball Podcast.
Later.